Hurley versus Tang, the coaching matchup that everybody wants to see in the first game of the Big 12. I'm sorry, man. Some of these matchups I can't just help but laugh at, but there are some interesting talking points in this game. Arizona State Sun Devils taking on the Kansas State Wildcats. Two teams that I think we can both say have had little, I don't even want to call them flashes in the pan because flashes sound like too large of a thing. Just maybe little sparks here and there throughout their season where they've, had some good wins or taking some really good teams to the brink. There was that run where Kansas State was like one of the best teams in the country in January by per Torvik since the start of the year. They've also come back to earth a little bit. Arizona State has been all over the place. Players have been removed from the team. Hurley has been complaining. They play like an LA Fitness team that is playing for the first time every single time that they touch the floor. Subi, I will hand it to you. Where do you want to start with this game? Don't you show your Arizona State bias. I know what you're doing, Wildcat. Watch it.
No, man. It's gotten to a point where I kind of feel bad
Oh, it's that bad?
for the fine folks at Tempe, man. Well, not too bad because they had a marvelous football season and they get to look forward to one of the best young coaches in the game in Kenny Dillingham. But the wheels have just completely fallen off for the Sun Devils, and it's a multitude of things, dude. Right? Like, first of all, they weren't very good when everyone was healthy. They might have been competitive, but they weren't going to make the tournament. But no one's healthy. Right? Like they just don't have the bodies. They don't have the dudes. They don't have the personnel. I don't know if Jaden Quinton is going to play in this game. I don't know if Adam Miller is going to play in this game. I hope for their long term projections they don't. This is not a team that's going to make some miraculous Cinderella run. They're not going to win 11 straight like NC State did. At the end of the day, this is a dead and gone season. ASU is 1-9 in their last 10. They just don't. They don't have it. And Bobby Hurley, a guy who is defined by his defiance. A little bit of wordplay for you.
Mm.
Even he looks like he's given up, man. Like they asked about his future, and he was like, you can just tell, right? You can tell when a coach is like, look, I'm 100% committed to these guys, which I'm sure he is. But when you listen to him talk, he's kind of like, I mean, it is what it is. If I get cooked, I'm going to be just fine in stores, probably on my brother's staff, fighting for a national title. It just hasn't worked out. For K State, though, you're right, Card. They have shown that they can be a really good team, albeit very, very small sample size. They have shown that they can be a good team. And look, Arizona bias, they beat my Wildcats in Manhattan, right? ASU just never really shown that, save for like maybe one or two games. I think they were competitive with Gonzaga for a minute, competitive with Kansas, but whatever. K State though has shown that they can be dangerous. I think last time out, K State only shot 19% from three
Hmm.
against ASU, and I've seen them put up some stinkers. I do think they'll be a little bit better, and I do think they're going to have some fans supporting them here. Here's what I will say about the Wildcats: Coleman Hawkins, he always gets the headlines, but David Nagesson, I mean, he's been terrific for them this season, and I think Doug McDaniel will be the best point guard on the floor. It's just like I forget who asked me. It was Dion. He was like, after the Arizona ASU game, he was like, "Is there anything to take into the Big 12 tournament for the Sun Devils?" And I was like, "No, like
No.
don't go enjoy spring training right now. If you're in Tempe or Phoenix, the Greater Central area, Arizona area, the season's over, man."
Yeah, this Arizona State team has won 4 games since January 1st. Four. This team was 10-3 and 1-1 in the conference. Or sorry, they were 9-3, 0-1 in conference play with a loss to BYU going into the new year. And they have faltered at every step. The staff seems frustrated, players are frustrated. Everyone's just frustrated and rewatching Cam Scatterbo highlights probably in Tempe, which I honestly commend them wholeheartedly as they watch him and also try to claim that Jaden Daniels is still there. That's kind of what is going on in Tempe right now. And this is a team that unequivocally, if given a chance, I think would forfeit this game and honestly
Yeah.
be okay with it. Like if there was a team in the Big 12 tournament that if given a chance, like, and people wouldn't know about it either. Like, oh, they just press this button, you guys don't have to show up. They would press it, all of them too. They would like kind of put their hand, like, hands in the huddle. Everyone would put their hand on the button and press it at once. One, two, three, season over. With all, but at the same time, as I say that, Kansas State, what are they? Is I think of the question you brought up. I'd lean though more so that even if they are an inkling of the team that they were when they were hot at the start of January, they just want to be here more. And I think they are the better, more talented team that actually likes each other. I don't know if anyone in Arizona, I think this team is so mad they have to travel with each other to this tournament. Um, we'll get to the prediction portion here. I'll throw it over to you, Subi. KenPom has this as Arizona State as a 1 point underdog. So basically pick them in this game. Which side you going? I think I know.
Uh, Yeah, look, I'm gonna go with K-State. Here's what I will say about ASU. They compete at least I think they'll compete for like the first half, and then they'll just get too tired. Bodies won't be there. Like I can't stress it enough, dude. Against Arizona, they entered the game with 7 scholarship players. Adam Miller on the very first play injured his hip. He was trying to gut it out. I commend the young man for doing that. They ended up playing with 6 scholarship players. Cart, I had Bobby Hurley's kid on the floor, crunch time minutes, which by the way speaks to Arizona. Why the hell are there crunch time minutes against ASU? But Bobby Hurley's kid was on the floor. They had a dude, I think his name's Trevor Best, who just came to Tempe in January. He was playing minutes. You got to get the water boy. You got to get the towel guys underneath the basket to maybe help you out. It's just not enough. But ASU will compete. And look, man, K State, they're inept in their own right.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm going
they are.
to,
I feel like because we're comparing them to Arizona State, they're getting a little benefit of the
yeah.
doubt here. They ain't no pretty pig over there.
No, I'll tell you what. We'll save that for the next game, which I think K State will be playing one more game. But I am going to take Kansas State winning this one 74 to 68. Feel free to give me your prediction, but also, dude, if ASU wins this game, I mean, I think crazy alarm bells are going to go off in Manhattan. No,
Oh, it's crazy alarm bells. I don't think that'll happen though, because I think Kansas State wins this game 75-50. I'm out on this Arizona State team. They give a lot. I mean, I'm just looking at their pass. This team gives up 80 to everybody except TCU, and TCU's in the 200s offensively. Like this team can't stop anybody, and it might not be their fault, like you stated. They're playing guys that they're like the Drewski me, and they're like pointing like, "You want me to check in? Like what? Me? Okay, like okay, coach. Like I forgot to put my shorts on, but I guess I'm playing today." But in any regard, we will be here to recap the game once it is over. Be sure to tune in to Sleepers Media YouTube channel. We will have every game of every major conference covered here. So tune in for all the other previews and recaps.